All right, so why is it that sometimes getting out of a stuck state is hard? Why is it that sometimes surrendering to what you want is it's impossible, it's frustrating? Why is it that some people have an easy time with this and other people struggle? This might be the most important podcast, the most important thing you hear all day. And I'm going to be fast. And I want you to take notes the second time you listen. Just listen right now. If you're a note taker, put your crayon down and listen to this. Because here's why. Ready? I have systems. I focus from systems. Most people have problems. And they focus from, oh my God, here's a problem. How do I fix this? Oh my God, here's a pain. How do I eliminate this? And if you're coming from problems or pain, you're going to have a tough time with this. I can promise you that. By the way, I've been there. I've been doing this stuff for a couple decades now. And I made a solemn vow when I returned here in 2011, because I had to leave for a little while. I had to sort out my visa issues. And when I came back in, I got detained by immigration for 3 hours. They took apart my entire life, and they said, hey, guess what? You've got 7 visa violations, but here's the deal. We're going to let you in anyway. I can tell you why. You might know why, too. Because I have a system. And even under that pressure, it worked. Even with that massive problem, because they legally should have put me back on a plane to the U.S. Because I didn't know it. I misread the law, and I committed 7 visa violations my first year here. Interested? Ready? Systems. Whenever you have systems, that's how you think. If you don't have systems, if you're just reading up on everybody's different way of approaching it, I've got a strategy, I've got a formula, I've got a something or another. Oh, I use the hat trick method. Righty-o. Haven't heard of that. Maybe I should add that in. See, I have systems. I've got very specific, very streamlined systems, and let's talk about them. Ready? There's a time whenever I use the streetcar system. Anytime I notice 3D reality is getting on my nerve, right, I use the streetcar system. We go into that for about an hour and a half, I think, in that pack. In a nutshell, the lady was on the streetcar. She wasn't where she wanted to be. It was Christmas Eve. She didn't surrender to the streetcar. She made it a little boat. She made what she was experiencing in physical reality part of her imaginal experience. Next, a lot of people tell me they have drift-filled days. They call them driftless. I'm like drifting around. I don't get it. To me, that sounds driftful. It also sounds dreadful. I don't got anything going on. Radio. I get it. I've been there. But you see, I've got a system. It's the Joseph Goddard. I call it a method. I should have named it a system, because it is. It's a very systematic way of approaching the beginning moments of your day. You see, when you have systems in place and a problem shows up, you don't go, oh my God, there's a problem, I have to do something about it. You go, wow, what system should I apply now? See, it's sort of like I collect systems like my neighbor collects cars. My neighbor collects cars. He's into Jaguars and Mustangs and limousines. You should see his joint, right? He's got cars and solar panels, right? I don't have solar panels. I don't like them. I think they would turn the house into a shithole, because we live in a mud brick mansion, something classically constructed. Looks like a 15th, 16th century home in France, but it was made in the 60s, 1970s here in Australia. Google it up, mud brick, right? It's a fascinating way of constructing a house, and it's a lovely experience. But meanwhile, if you don't have systems and you hit a speed bump, what happens is you go, oh my God, horrible, horrible. How do I fix this? You become a junkie and addict. Drama and trauma take over your life. On the other hand, when you dedicate yourself to systems, I simply go, radio, streetcar system time. And I just do that. I wake up in the morning, I have a body, how cool. right? And when that cortisol drips in, because that's the natural experience in the morning, I go, righty-o, it's Joseph Goddard time. And I do that systematic approach to my morning. Before my feet hit the floor, I've done everything in that. You getting some gold? Because if you don't have systems in place, when a speed bump shows up, and they will, Neville Goddard said, this cushions the blows. You will have blows every day of your life. The meal will be 1 minute late. The mother-in-law will call at 8:01 p.m. Whatever it is, you will have speed bumps. Neville Goddard didn't say it was all unicorns and rainbow farts. He said, right, this will cushion the blows. Because the more you discover who you are and how this works, you go, yep. You notice we shared that attitude on this week's Feel It Real Fun shows? Sure, right. I get very dismissive, right? Because if you can't say no, you can't say yes. And I say no to a lot. Oh, there's something that would have totally knocked me off my square years ago. Right. Here we go. What system do I grab? And by the way, I run my entire life on systems. Right? Business, fitness, shopping. I've got systemized approaches to everything. And some people say, oh, I would be so rigid if I did that. Oh, so you're imagining rigidness and systems go hand in hand. I notice systems give me all kind of fun and freedom because I don't have to reinvent the wheel every day. I don't have to panic every day. So we got gold today. Let's just send you to NevilleGoddardStore.com. If you haven't done Manifesting Mastery, it's there. Go sign up. It's the backbone of all we do. That's the 90-day program. It's $97. Systems. Joseph Goddard to the max is there if you want to own your day, because if you don't own your day, you don't own your destiny. It begins with Joseph Goddard. Before my feet hit the floor, before I take a pee, right, I've built in some systems. If 3D reality mucks with you, I can't stay in my state, Mr. 20. You know why? Because you're not using 3D reality as a tool. We've got a system for that, the streetcar system, and so on. So those are my crass commercials of the day. Dive deeper, have fun, soar higher.